I know why you're negative. Hey, it's Roger from Positive Emotional Healing. Thanks for tuning in. Got some great value for you today. I know why you're negative. I know why people in general tend to be negative. It's because we have a negativity bias. A negativity bias. And if you ever heard about that before, we have the tendency to see or fear for the worst in every situation and with every person. So we meet a new person, maybe we tend to see the worst in them. Maybe we go to a new place, we tend to anticipate the worst aspects of that place being there. We go on a trip, we're afraid of what could happen that's bad. So where does this come from? This comes from our growth from tribes, as human beings, evolution. Let's go back a few thousand years to the first tribes. Imagine you're a tribes person, you're fishing at a lake, you see a rustling in the bushes. You ignore it, you think, oh, it's just the wind. Out of the bushes springs a mountain lion, and it proceeds to lay waste to you. You're wounded, you end up dying, and then your children, your spouse, the rest of your tribe goes, wow, that rustling in the bushes was bad. It could be a lion. So what happens is, it's passed down, the knowledge is passed down from generation to generation. If you see a rustling in the bushes, it could be something dangerous. It is better to take precautions, pick up your spear, pick up your axe, run, hide, in case it could be something dangerous. So hence we have this negativity bias over thousands of years. What happened to the people who ignored the rustling bush? So if you imagine millions of people over the world throughout history, a few thousand years, whatever you believe, what happened to the people who ignored their negativity bias? They're not here. They didn't prepare enough. They didn't take enough food. Wild animals devoured them. Strange people maybe killed them or whatever it was. So your negativity bias actually kept you alive. Your negativity bias is part and parcel of your ego, which you're born with and which is formulated as an adult. It keeps you alive. It helps you run, flee, freeze when there's threats. It helps you plan. It helps you make sure you have enough food in the cupboard. It makes sure you have enough air in your tires. The negativity bias keeps you alive. The problem is we have an advanced brain nowadays. We have a neocortex which processes information, creates images. If I say think of a green apple, you're going to think of a green apple. If I say do not think of a green apple, you're going to think of a green apple. Your neocortex is very evolved. It's very powerful, and it's so creative, and we can imagine and see. And this is how we imagine and create a vision, and then we create it into reality. One of the pitfalls of having such an advanced brain is that neocortex is that we tend to have a negativity bias. We tend to see the worst in whatever situations happen. And that's why we're addicted to the media. That's why people in general, we love the media, because it is a huge negativity bias. If you check out my other video where I talk about the media circus is not your friend. Check out that other video. It's really good, where it talks about the media and their reptilian brain headlines. You understand that you have a negativity bias in any situation. So you're constantly looking for threats. You're constantly looking for dangers. You're constantly looking for something that could affect your well-being in an adverse and negative way. As human beings, because we've evolved as tribes, sophisticated civilizations and cultures, this negativity bias translates into workplace politics, international politics, from the big picture right down to the microcosm, the little picture in your life. So understanding that you have this inbuilt, hardwired negativity bias towards people, towards places, towards things, you're naturally suspicious to varying degrees. Some people have a very small negativity bias. Some people have a huge negativity bias. Once you understand this, you can understand, well, that's why I'm negative. If you're making a better choice, like you want to grow as a person, you want to choose to love everybody, choose to be peaceful, choose to sort of have that oneness with everybody and with God and whatever you believe in life in general, it's understanding that negativity bias is part and parcel of your DNA. It's part and parcel of who you are. It's kind of inseparable of who you are, but you can make a new choice every day not to be overwhelmed by your negativity bias. Yes, you understand it's there. Yes, you make sure you got enough fuel in your car, you got enough air in your tires, you got enough oil in your engine. Yes, you make sure you've got your phone and your keys and your wallet when you go out the door. Yes, you take care of those little things that are important for survival. But understand that the overarching negative tendency, your brain, that part of your reptilian part of your brain naturally gravitates towards negativity because it believes it's essential for survival. Once you understand that, you can kind of go, well, okay, before I go there, on the flip side of that, if you're too negative all the time, well, you become depressed, you become angry, you become sad, you're grieving all the time. You're not happy. You're not enjoying life. If you're negative all the time, you're constantly looking for threats. You're shutting down your immune system. You're shutting down the vital organs of your body. Why? Because when you're stressed and you're negative and you're constantly looking for threats in the external world, or you're picturing horrible things in your imagination, what happens is your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake, or what's a fantasy and what's real. So what happens is your body gets yourself ready for that threat. And when your body gets yourself ready for that threat, the blood that was naturally in the core of your body, around your lungs and your heart and or your central nervous system, doing everything it does, repairing tissue cells, blood cells, white blood cells, doing their thing in their body. When you're stressed, when you're afraid, when you're scared, that blood immediately goes to your arms and legs. It's a survival mechanism where you've got strength in your arms and legs to fight an attacker, to run from an attacker, or to freeze for extended periods of time so the attacker passes you by. When you're stressed, your blood is not in the core of your body. It's out getting ready to prepare yourself to fight. Problem with is adrenaline and cortisol are the chemicals that help you fight off an attacker, that help you defeat the boogeyman. Those chemicals over the long term are not good for you, but for the short term they're very necessary and very helpful for your survival. But in the long term, it can really weaken your immune system. You can really draw away energy and resources away from your core organs, which are needed to keep you healthy, which are needed for you to be happy and feel like you're fulfilled and positive and able to have a great life and grow and be positive in life. But if you're in fight and flight and freeze syndrome all the time, you're gonna get sick in the long term. And that's what happens. A lot of diseases today are immune deficiency diseases, where people's immune systems are not doing their job because of stress. And that's the way the modern world is. You can choose, however, to have more of a positivity bias without being vulnerable and gullible. But you can choose to understand that you have that negativity bias. It's part of your DNA. It's part and parcel of being a human being. But also to set it where it needs to be and have that, yes, when I need it, it's there. But for the rest of my life, the 99.99% of my life, I'm going to choose to be positive. I'm going to choose to love and be at peace and have great relationships with other people. You can make that choice. And it just takes time. It takes time and intention over a period of time. But the more you do it, because these chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol are addictive, the more negativity is addictive. You ever met the negative person? They love being negative, and you try and be positive and they just throw back 10 negatives towards you because they're addicted to that negativity. You can make a choice to be positive. Positivity makes you stronger. Positivity will make you healthier. This is Roger McDonald. I know why you're negative, and that's something you can change if you want, or if not, you're fine, you're happy as you are. Stay the same. It's Positive Emotional Healing. Check out the website, positiveemotionalhealing.com. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in. Hope I gave you some value. Take care.